Dear students, class 10th, Assalamu alaikum. I'm sending you part 3 of your unit 1 English unit 1 का हमारा जो part रह गया है, which is the exercise question answers. Now the first question is, what is meant by simplicity and humility? Heading आप देंगे सबसे पहले reference to the context. This question has been taken from the lesson Humility and Simplicity of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. Explanation. First heading that you'll make is of simplicity. Simplicity is the state or quality of being simple or plain. There is no greatness where there is no simplicity. It is the essence of real happiness. After that, you'll make the heading of humility. Humility is the quality of being humble. It means to offer ourselves to benefit others, not to use others to benefit ourselves. Humility is used to talk about a lack of ego. It was pride that changed angels into devils. It is humility that makes men as angels. The lesson that we have learned from this chapter is simplicity and humility are the two greatest virtues of life and the keys to success. Simple people are genuinely respected and loved. Coming to question 2, describe in few sentences the lifestyle of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the light of the text that you have read. Again, you are going to make the heading of reference to the context, starting with explanation. Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very simple and humble in his lifestyle. Despite having a huge following, he was humble to the core and never posed himself as being superior to his companions or any other mankind. He lived in a simple house and ate simple food. He wore coarse clothes. He forbade people from standing up in his presence or from kneeling down to him in respect. Despite being a prophet and a person of significant following, he never used his influence to live a life of ease. He lived a life not of affluence but of simplicity and humility. He milked his goat, helped out with the chores in his house, and repaired his shoes and clothes himself. Hazrat Ans Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha reported, I am Allah's servant, I eat like a servant and sit like a servant. Question number 3. How can simplicity and humility do away with the culture of extravagance and waste? Again, reference to the context and explanation. The culture of extravagance and waste can be eradicated by adopting the sunnah of simplicity and humility. Islam teaches us not to be extravagant but to be frugal in spending wealth. Waste of money and extraordinary display of wealth results in many difficulties and problems. Simplicity and humility help to get rid of mental unrest and economic chaos. Question 4. Read the last paragraph of the lesson and write down the main idea and supporting details of the paragraph. Starting with explanation, the main idea of the last paragraph of the lesson is that we should adopt the sunnah of simplicity and humility, which is the source of true happiness. By this, we can also improve our lifestyle and eradicate ostentation and many other social evils. Be humble and never think that you are better than anyone else, because for dust you are and to dust you will return. Last question of the exercise. How did Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam treat his foster sister? After reference, you start with explanation. Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam treated his foster sister as he treated his wet nurse. He would stand up to receive his foster sister and spread his own sheet for her whenever she came to visit him. Moving on, now there are some questions from the exercise also. Life of the world is a metaphor. We will suffice you. It will be enough to achieve a purpose or fulfill a need. Squander hard-earned resources. It means to waste resources earned the hard way. Recoil our heads in pride. It means to be extremely arrogant and proud. Now, words and sentences. Good. She is a good administrator. Goods. He sells sports goods. Wood. The table is made of teak wood. Woods. The children were taken for a walk into the woods. Spectacle. The view from the window was a spectacle. Spectacles. She has lost her spectacles. That are her glasses. Character. He is a man of good character. Characters. The characters in the play were all novices. Novices means that they had not done any part earlier. Manner, the manner in which he spoke was rude. Manners, she has perfect manners. Force, don't force him to write. Forces, he wants to join the forces, that is the army or any army, navy, etc. Summary of the lesson. Numerous personality traits were present in our Holy Prophet, which made him the perfect person to be followed. Among all, simplicity and humility were the most outstanding traits of his personality. He used to sit at the level of his companions. He treated both the affluent and the poor equally without considering their caste, color, or creed. He used to eat a simple diet, wear simple clothes, and sleep on a leather mattress. He helped his companions in various chores on certain occasions. He always gave due respect to women. No one could match him more in character, speech, and mannerism than Hazrat Fatma Raziyallahu Ta'ala anha. Now write a unified paragraph on the topic sentence, pride makes us artificial and humility makes us real. Humility is simply having a realistic sense of oneself, meaning seeing ourselves as right sized. Pride masks the true self. Humility gives us the willingness to surrender our ego, false pride, arrogance, and low self esteem. We gain the courage to be vulnerable, which allows us to seek help or guidance from others and to practice trust beyond ourselves. Practicing humility in our society makes us better listeners, learners, and allows us to examine ourselves. Practicing humility in our recovery makes us better listeners, learners, and allows us to examine ourselves without shame or judgment. It enables us to see the need for and to embrace change. It helps us build the bridge to freedom from our self imposed isolation just by revealing our true humanity. Humility is difficult for most human beings. It requires a secure sincerity, compassion, and emotional maturity that is often absent, particularly in those of us with a history of substance use. When we lack humility, we can unintentionally disrespect and hurt others, or we can end up humiliating ourselves. Now, I've done all the exercises. The complete chapter has been done for you in 3 parts. Unit 1 is complete. Please go through these lectures. The videos are for you, for your betterment, and for you to understand what SLO based study basically requires from a student and how they are trying to improve your learning abilities by making you answer yourselves instead of learning everything by heart. You need to write it yourselves. We have given you enough examples of how writings are done. The only thing that you can do now is to understand, comprehend, and start writing yourself in your own words. Thank you so much.